Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is the Twilight Dimension. I'm Maria.
And I'm Athena.
And today our topic is going to be about shapeshifters.
What we mean by that is shapeshifters that are taking on the appearance of friends or family or someone that you know. I know that sounds kind of weird, but if you guys are watching this channel, chances are you're interested in this topic, or this has happened to you, or you know someone this has happened to, or you're interested in learning more.
We actually had a viewer write into us, talking to us about what had happened to her and how her husband ended up being a shapeshifter.
This is Natalie. She wrote, I've also had sleep paralysis. It's scary. It's scary AF sometimes. I'm not going to say the full thing. And sometimes right before I hear the radio, as if it's like a dial changing channels between stations. Like I'm tapping into a different frequency. I've also experienced seeing my loved ones disguised as demons and trying to harm me. I remember one time I was outside of my body and Brendan, my husband, was awake and was trying to strangle me with a strict neutral face. I tried to get back in my body 3 times. I woke up terrified. And my husband Brendan was sound asleep.
Oh my gosh.
I will tell you, this is one of my biggest fears. Like, this is literally one of my biggest fears is being, because I've had, like I said in the last episode, I had a situation where I didn't know I was astral projecting, and I saw my husband walking towards me, and the way that I found out that I was astral projecting is that he was mute, and that was my clue. We actually talked about clues in the last episode.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are thinking, how do you not know that you're astral projecting? Like I said in the last episode, I was really sick that day. I had a fever, I had body aches, and it was daytime, and I had never astral projected during the day. So when I had woke up in this projection, the air was so heavy, and I felt so weak, I just thought that I was getting sicker.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. So I've had that shape-shifting experience.
I remember there was one time where I was sleeping next to my boyfriend, and he ended up waking up, and he's like, how could you do this to me? How could you do this to me? I'm like, what are you talking about? What did I do to you? And I remember hearing like the channel sound switching. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean I did something to you? And then all of a sudden his head started shaking.
That's
right?
So weird.
And my head ended up shaking, and that was my clue to,
what do you mean shaking? Like how? Like
you
vibrating?
Vibrating in a way, yeah.
That's terrifying.
So, and then I realized, I'm like, oh.
Like it's like this?
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I'm having some sort of a dream. Let's wake up.
So it was a lucid dream then?
I don't know if was it a lucid dream?
Well, it depends how you felt. So, like, I feel that like when you're in an astral plane, it's a very from what I know, it's a very consistent feeling of a heavy air, but I could be wrong. We could have different dimensions where you're in, for example, if you're in a higher frequency, you might not feel that heavy feeling.
It wasn't like I didn't feel any sort of heavy feeling, right? But I knew I was dreaming because I heard the channel sounds.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, so I just kind of forced myself to wake up, and then he was just sleeping.
See, even Natalie wrote down, she actually said, like I said before I hear the radio as if it's like a dial changing channels between stations, like I'm tapping into a different frequency. Again, like even the viewer that wrote to us, mm-hmm. she has the same experience.
I think with lucid dreaming, sleep paralysis, I think you're always going to hear that channel changing.
Really? Even with lucid dreaming?
It could be, yeah. Because even with me with sleep paralysis, I hear it and I'm like, okay, that's my clue. Yeah. I need to force myself to wake up.
You know, I've never had a lucid dream before. And you would think that I'm going into all these friggin' dimensions. I would have a lucid dream. I've never had a lucid dream before.
Really?
I think having a lucid dream would be so cool.
I would be afraid of it.
No, you know why?
I would be afraid of it.
Because you get to control it, right?
You control it, but what if you... I don't know. I would be afraid of it.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Okay, we're going off topic. Our topic today is shapeshifters. Sorry, we love this topic so much. We're just going to ramble on all the time. But hopefully you enjoy our rambles. Yes, so shapeshifters. I've had the experience of, so I've had shape-shifting experiences that are dreams. I don't know how to explain that to you. It's not an astral projection. When I was pregnant with my first child, I would have a lot of this stuff happening to me, where it was a weird situation. I don't know if I told you this. It was basically when I would dream, something was trying to hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? This is like the opposite of demonic beings taking the shape of your loved ones. This was someone saving me taking the shape of my loved ones. The demonic being was someone I didn't know. I was one of the times that this happened to me, I was pregnant and I was sleeping in my mom's house. I'm sleeping in my mom's house and I wake up in a dream. Again, I had that vibration feeling, but it was a dream. I could tell it wasn't an astral projection. I was dreaming. But again, it wasn't a lucid dream, because at the same time I still, you know, whenever you're dreaming, you don't know that you're dreaming, you think that you're awake until you actually wake up.
Yeah.
It was the same thing. So it wasn't a lucid dream. But I'm in the same space. It's nighttime like it was when I fell asleep. Everything's the same like it was when I fell asleep. I'm in the same place. Different space. Different place, same space. So I wake up and there's a man standing at the corner of the room, and I remember everything about him. He was a heavier guy. He had brown hair. His hair was tied to the back, and he was clean shaven, but he was a little bit scruffy.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, clean shaven and a little bit scruffy. I just completely contradicted myself. He was a little bit scruffy. He didn't have a full-on beard, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
He's standing there, and this is when I'm a good 6-7 months pregnant, so I'm big. He has a knife in his hand, and he's looking at me, and he's looking at my stomach as if he's afraid of my stomach, as if he's afraid of something that's in my stomach. And he's looking at me, and he's like, "Don't move." And I knew I wasn't an astral projection because, first of all, I didn't know that I was asleep.
Yeah.
That's number one. I just thought I was awake. Second of all, he wasn't mute. Mm-hmm. So after I woke up, I realized, okay, he wasn't mute. It wasn't an astral projection. He tells me, he's like, "Don't move." And he's holding the knife to my stomach. And I'm standing there. I'm freaking out. I'm scared. I'm just sitting there. I'm like, who is this guy? Why is he holding a knife to my stomach?
Mm-hmm.
And then I get up. He finally lets go. He's like, okay. He stands away and he's like, "You can go now." And he's like, "Don't tell anybody about this." And I'm like, okay, that's so weird. He says, don't you dare tell anybody about this. I'm like, okay, this is fucked up. So I run into the living room and I see my mom there. But you can tell, this thing about shapeshifters, you can fully tell this isn't my mom. There's something with the eyes. I know, goosebumps, right? There's something with the eyes. It looks different. Are
the eyes wider, lighter?
Wider.
Darker?
There's something wide about the eyes. It looks weird. My friend Vicky, my infamous friend Vicky on this channel, she tells me every time she sees a being in the astral realm, they look weird. They look odd. Their eyes are wider. So I knew it wasn't my mom. I run to my mom, and she's trying to help me. And I come to tell her something, and all of a sudden I feel this big bang on my head, and then I wake up. And I'm I vibrate and I wake up. It was terrifying. So that was a situation where my mom, this being that was helping me, took the shape of my mom. So it's not always bad, right?
Yeah.
But this happened to me 3 or 4 times when I was pregnant, where I would have a spirit or whatever they are attacking me in my home, and whoever's sleeping next to me or in my house has been shapeshifted by some sort of being that's there to save me. It's actually very weird. I will tell you the most terrifying one out of all of this was I had just given birth, and maybe it was a week and a half, 2 weeks after I'd given birth, my baby, I was in the living room. So I have a living room, my kitchen's over here. I can see my kitchen through the balcony door. Like the reflection through the balcony door. I can see that. The kitchen lights were on in real life.
Mm-hmm.
I had fallen asleep. My baby's next to me in a bassinet. I'm sleeping on the couch because I had a C-section, so it was hard to sleep on the bed. I'm sleeping on the couch. My dad in real life was visiting me to like help me take care of my baby. He was in the next room over. I wake up, again I'm in a dream, and I see some random woman in my kitchen through the reflection in my balcony window.
Mm-hmm.
And she's making milk. My baby's crying. She's making milk. Random woman. She's like, it's okay, I'll take care of him.
What?
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps right now. The second she said, it's okay, I'll take care of him, I remember falling on the floor and trying to like crawl to my baby. As I'm crawling to my baby, because you could tell, you know when beings are good and beings are bad.
Yeah,
you can feel it.
The energy.
Yeah. So I fall on the floor and I'm trying to get to my baby, and it's a heavy feeling again, but I wasn't astral projecting. It was a dream kind of thing. Then all I see is my dad walking to the kitchen, and then the spirit or whatever, the being disappeared, and I woke up.
He disappeared?
Yeah, like as if he had made her go away.
See, like the thing is with spirits, and even like your dream right now, how this being was trying to feed your child. I heard that you're never supposed to take anything from the dead. And when you see them, when you see the dead, never take food from them, because it's like they're inviting you to come with them.
That's so creepy.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Have you ever heard of people just randomly dying? Like young people just randomly dying? Do you ever think that might be
That
why?
could be something. That could be something.
So weird, like they just stop breathing.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I know this sounds so insane, but if
Yeah.
you live through this stuff, like you know that there's so much more to this world that none of us know. If you lived through actually astral projecting and walking through different realms and all this stuff, it's more realistic to you. Like, I know we sound insane. For someone that doesn't believe in this stuff, like if I didn't believe in this stuff and I heard us talking, I'd be like, okay, like,
well,
like,
when you
like,
first started talking to me about it, I'm like,
she thought I was crazy.
I'm like, okay, so I'm listening to your stories. I'm like,
oh
okay,
my god, you thought I was
okay.
nuts.
And then it happened
I'm
to me.
so happy that it happened to you.
And then it happened to me. So
Thank
like,
God.
okay, so she's not that crazy then.
Wow, what a bitch. Yeah, like I know I have friends and family that are watching this, that are probably sitting there going like, really, like this is the real you.
To you.
Yeah. But it's honestly, it's true. Like there's so many different things that happen. Like I've had the shape-shifting experience from like in a lot of situations.
Yeah.
I actually had my husband's grandmother. I was sleeping at her house one day. I was in a sleep paralysis, and I kept yelling out, because he's Greek, so I kept yelling out, yeah. And I kept yelling it out, or trying to. You know, whenever you can't speak when you're in a sleep paralysis, you're just trying to scream. So I was yelling out her name. All of a sudden, she comes in, she grabs my hand, she draws a cross in my hand, and then I wake up. So again, this was another shape-shifting experience where they took on, like, it's weird. It maybe like they take on this form so that you don't freak out. I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. There's so many things that are so unknown to us. Like I said in the beginning of when we first posted our video, there's certain things that we're never gonna get to the bottom of until we die.
Yeah.
There's theories.
And even then, we might not even figure
I know.
it out.
Oh, that'll be a bummer. That really will. Like if we die and we don't find out, and it's just I don't know. I don't think we're really gonna care about it if we die though.
Yeah. Well.
Like when we're dead. I don't think we're really gonna care. But I mean, I want to know. It's just, I don't know. It's fun to have theories about this kind of stuff, about what's happening.
Yeah.
But do we ever know? I actually had someone write in the comment section on our other video. He addressed your you know how you said that you couldn't breathe in sleep paralysis?
Yeah.
He addressed that. He said that it's because we don't breathe in the other dimensions. Our soul doesn't need.
Souls,
our souls don't breathe in the other dimensions.
Yeah.
So when you're trying to breathe because you're in the mindset of this dimension, you can't. It's hard for you to breathe. You still have that urge to breathe and you can't breathe, so you think that you're choking when you're really not.
Yeah.
I found that very interesting. See, this is another theory.
That's something I've never heard of either.
Exactly.
Right?
This is
Until
why
he mentioned it, that's when I'm like, you know what, that kind of makes sense.
it does make sense.
Yeah.
But again, it's just a theory. We don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just thank you to that gentleman for writing in. That was
Thank
I
you.
really enjoyed reading. He actually wrote a lot. It was really fun to read.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Please comment, like, and subscribe to our channel so you can have fun with us in the other episodes as well.
We'll see you soon.
Bye.